Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base, and yeah, there's no place for it. And we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. You know, we come to play basketball for our job, and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be.
Now, let's discuss the most recent WNBA debate, which is extremely contentious. Alyssa Thomas is criticizing and accusing Caitlin Clark's support following of racism. Let's just say that many folks on the internet aren't quite persuaded. After playing in the league for over 10 years, you would think that Alyssa would be accustomed to the loudness made by the audience and the occasional trash talk. She has, however, gone one step further and implied that skin color is the reason why people are applauding so loudly for Clark and not for her. Alyssa, really? You're going in that direction. Since there are several facets to this issue and, to be honest, none of them are helping Alyssa Thomas, let's examine it.
I ran into people who were born in the 40s a couple of weeks ago that were telling me it's worse now than it was in the 60s. But knowing how our society can be, we see the ugliness that exists in certain parts of the country. All I'm saying is you can't ignore it. This is a perfect example, a small one, but nevertheless a perfect example of illuminating the kind of society that we're still living in, no matter how far forward we have moved.
First of all, she made that claim immediately following one of her worst performances, scoring just 8 points in a playoff game. Indeed, Sate, averaging over 25 points each game and exciting the league like a living highlight package, Caitlin Clark has been rewriting the record books in the meantime. Perhaps this has nothing to do with race, Alyssa. Perhaps it has to do with production. Fans often support players who perform well, not those whose stat lines make you wonder whether they were really playing the entire game.
Instagram wasn't there waiting for me. Instagram and Twitter, these are choices we make. It could have been somebody from Connecticut pretending to be an Indiana Fever fan, or someone from Connecticut who doesn't like you because you're a whiny victim 24/7. In my 11 years, I've never dealt with what I've dealt with. You know why? Because no one cared about your league before Caitlin Clark.
Look, I'm all for raising your voice when there's a legitimate problem that has to be resolved, but this seems more like a diversion than a meaningful discussion. For more than 10 years, Alyssa Thomas has been a member of the league. Fan reactions and media pressure are nothing new to her. She is aware of how this operates. Why bring this up now, then? Why would you suddenly turn the attention in this direction? Is it possible that she needed something, anything, to divert attention from her performance following a difficult outing? Let's be honest, fans react with massive backlash.
We live in a world today. Think about the climate that exists. Think about how unhealthy and divisive our climate is in today's day and age. They're saying it's worse now than it was then.
Racial tension.
Racial tension, okay? So you see this girl, Caitlin Clark, and this is not her fault. It's not her fault. We won't go back. We won't go back. Don't let us go back. There's certain people that want us to go back to a different time, blah, blah, blah. We've heard all.
Caitlin Clark isn't really in charge of who applauds her. She's just playing basketball at the highest level, which is what she does best. The worst part is still to come. Alyssa Thomas didn't merely say something in passing. Since she isn't receiving the same amount of fan love as Clark, she went into full-on sympathy mode and pretended that everything was against her. Let's face it, though, Clark's admirers aren't applauding due to her skin. She is a star, which is why they are applauding. Every game she plays, she puts on a master lesson. Do you want to raise a glass? Post the statistics. It really is that easy. Rather than taking responsibility for her own bad night, Alyssa Thomas decided to create controversy and drag Clark's supporters along.
This game in Austin, is X still in San Francisco? Was this game in San Francisco? Where exactly did she travel to work and get invaded by social media? They played in an arena. Somewhere, I would imagine, in Connecticut. There were no opposing fans. You barely had home fans. And so no one cared. A couple 300,000 people were watching your games. No one will be tweeting about you, Alyssa Thomas. But the WNBA, in its infinite wisdom and cowardice, put out a statement.
The funniest thing is that she's attempting to portray herself as the victim. Alyssa Thomas, hurry up. You've spent more than 10 years in this league. It's like that. Supporters applaud players that are skilled and give it their all on the court. Perhaps you would be out there posting statistics that are truly discussed if you spent even half as much time honing your craft as you do blaming others. However, because Alyssa Thomas opted for justifications rather than responsibility, we are now embroiled in this drama.
I have to go to work today, and then she said, and have social media. Do you work on social media? Is that what does she travel? I think, where did they move Twitter to, or X? Where have I heard this argument before? Oh, Donald Trump may be fine, but the MAGA people, they're terrible. They're the deplorables. They're a threat to democracy. That ain't much of an audience, baby girl. You ain't catching a lot of strays. There was the other comment that she made, and someone hit me. Replay her comments again.
Not to mention the allegations of racist abuse. Look, there is no denying the existence of racism. Even though it's still a major problem in both sports and society at large, Alyssa Thomas, you've been in the league for 11 years, and this is the first time you've told us about it. Where had this indignation gone before? I'm not claiming she hasn't had difficulties, but when the timing looks so ideal, it's difficult to believe these charges.
So now people showed up, and you're dealing with what everybody deals with on social media. You've got 14,000 followers on Twitter, and Caitlin Clark on the Roots poster, or the Roots. What is she talking about? Did someone put Dejanay Carrington's face on something? I don't know. People were waiting for them before the game, after the game, and yelling racial slurs at them or yelling inappropriate things at them. I'd be on board.
Particularly after one of your poorest games of the season. The fact that Alyssa Thomas seems to believe this story will become popular just serves to heighten its ridiculousness. I'm sorry, but it's not working. Fans don't care about your skin tone, Alyssa. They are angry because you aren't performing well on the court. You can't expect everyone to support you after you score 8 points in a playoff game.
I've been on Twitter since 2009 or 8, somewhere around there. The abuse, the things that are said and have been said about me will be said about me today. Turn to your teammate and say, hey, cut it out. But that's not what she's going to do or anybody's going to do. They're all going to, it's Caitlin Clark. It's her fans. And now that Caitlin Clark has exited, they'll get to deal with the traveling gay sex cult that they're comfortable.
Because of her skin tone, fans aren't supporting Alyssa Thomas. They are supporting Caitlin Clark because she is a superstar who is setting records and bringing the WNBA a lot of publicity. Clark has become the biggest star in women's athletics thanks to her skill, dominance, and record-breaking accomplishments. Alyssa's claims following a poor performance simply come across as desperate attempts to shift blame rather than accept responsibility, while Clark remained focused, playing at an MVP level and demonstrating that talent, not color, is what matters most. Ultimately, Clark's reputation continues to expand, and Alyssa's grievances simply serve to emphasize the distinction between a real star and someone who is having difficulty in the spotlight.